done before. Validate this parking. I'm like, that, maybe you didn't hear me, guy. I was like, I'm supposed to be blowing up. Blowing up. I'm supposed to be that dude. Little do I know that is how I meet Seth. That's how I meet so many people in this industry, you know, who I'm still friends with to this day. And I was at Family Guy for what, 2.5 years?
Just working the front desk.
Just working the front desk. And I'd been offered promotions and stuff, but I passed on it because there was a certain amount of freedom I had at the front. I didn't really want more responsibility. And they kind of coined me the bartender of Family Guy, because what would happen is when people would get tired of like working or writing, they'd all kind of get out of their office and come to the front.
And chop it up with you.
Just chop it up. But I'm at the front, bro, hustling.
You're getting all the nuggets.
Bro, all of it. But I'm like writing, I'm cutting up headshots. I'm like hustling, trying to get my career going. So I'll be looking up and then, you know, this person wants to talk or this person wants to talk. But then me and Seth just became friends. So we didn't, you know, after I left, we were just buddies for a long time. And then the Cleveland show kind of happened like 5 years later.
Oh, wow. So there was a time period between that Family Guy experience and coming to the Cleveland show.
Yeah. I left Family Guy February 2008. That makes sense. No, shit, it don't even matter. No, it does matter for sure. 2007. Left there after 2.5 years. And then for like 4 years, I was just hustling. You know, I met some other people. Some people were producers. They bring me on to help, like, in the office, shoot some stuff. Luckily, I never had to go get another 9 to 5, I don't think.
Shout out to B. Simone.
What's that?
Shout out to B. Simone.
There we go. So what happened? But you ended up selling that script though too that you were writing, right?
I sold a few things. Yeah, I sold a few scripts. But it's, you know.
So most of these scripts are blacklisted, or what is the?
No. So one of the scripts I wrote, there's a thing called the Blacklist. And there's this guy, Franklin Leonard, who used to be an agent, and he started this list. And it was very smart. But he would go around to all the agencies and say, hey, send me the best script you guys did make this year, you know, just to kind of see. And I also think this is what he said, and I don't want to misquote him, but, you know, flipping the concept of black being negative, blacklist. So he just put together these scripts that, you know, studios and agencies sort of passed on. And then he started to compile this list. And what happened was this list ended up being like gems on there.
It blew up a lot of shit. Yeah.
Like so many scripts were on this fucking, you know, Oscar with Juno, like Oscar-winning projects. So one of the scripts me and my old writing partner wrote wound up making the Blacklist, and that kind of opened up a lot of meetings and doors. But the thing about writing scripts is like, from the time you start writing to the time you get a check, be 10 years.
Yeah.
You know, you got to finish it. You got to rewrite it. You got to rewrite it. You got to sell it. You got to negotiate it. That takes forever. So it's not as easy as just.
It's not like doing a paper, Vianney.
I'm about to make a movie next year that I wrote back in 2010. So
damn.
Years, yeah.
So how did it go to you get on the Orville? Like how did that? What it went from the? I guess no. Let's go back. Cleveland show experience. Like how did that?
He had a few projects after that too.
Yeah.
Right?
Like, so like what happened? With
BET and.
Oh right, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Let's go Cleveland show first. So how did you get the Cleveland show deal, and how was the experience writing in the background and not doing acting that you wanted to do?
Well, I got to go back for a quick sec. I got to shout out my boy Rob Lowe, because Rob is a producer out here, really dope cat, big St. Louis Rams fan too. But
is he from St. Louis?
No, he's from Cali.
Oh, okay. So he just stayed a Rams fan after they left LA, basically.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
So I met him hooping, and he at the time, remember that show? It was either Fifth Wheel or Blind Date, one of those reality shows.
I remember both of them. You gotta remember, I grew up on the north side with no cable, so every show that was on terrestrial TV, I saw all of them.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I think he had done one of those shows. Anyway, he was doing he had sold the show to BET that was sort of like a.
This is Hell Day, right?
Mm-mm.
No, this is before that. It was one of those shows though.
Okay.
That was in that era. But he was shooting this non-airable pilot for a show they sold. So what happens is at the time, and I think they still do it, you go to a network or a studio, you pitch a show, and they'll give you a little bit of money where you can go kind of shoot an idea.
A quick question with that though, because I heard after, this is something in general I've been reading about and like hearing about. So I heard after the writer's strike, that whole concept was deaded after the writer's strike, where like they weren't doing like, because networks had like 100 pilots where they shooting it, and after the writer's strike, they was like, they start deading it, like, no, we only really gonna greenlight anything unless we maybe gonna really do it.
Yeah, I think it did change a lot because I mean this was different since it was like a reality show.
Okay.
It is a little different, but this was like a dating show they were trying to do. And it's funny because, so my roommate at the time, who I went to IU with, he ended up coming out to LA a year, or 6 months after we graduated. He played ball with us, knew Rob. Rob was like, hey, I'm looking for like some young dudes to be in this dating pilot thing just so we could shoot it and show it. So it was like 4 guys, 4 girls. He booked it, but then couldn't do it because he had to go to Chicago. And he was like, yo, Jay, you know that one guy we play ball with, he's doing this thing. I can't do it. Maybe you can do it. I was like, all right, I guess I'll do it. But I really wasn't trying to do like a dating reality show.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I talked to him. He's like, yeah, no, it's not airable. We're not going to air it. It's just so we can show the network.
Proof of concept, basically.
Exactly. So I get there, and it was called, basically, it's a dating show, 4 girls, 4 guys. And if you get voted off, you go into the basement, which is the kickback lounge or something. But I remember Tiffany Haddish was one of the people on there too.
Wow.
I met Tiffany then, and I remember she was like, this got to be what, 2005, maybe 2006. But she was like, just trying to do comedy and like, she's from LA, and she was just trying to do comedy and ended up doing this thing. And it's funny to see years later. It's like, oh shit, you really blew up. But sorry, met Rob. Rob had some projects here and there, so he would hit me up and say, hey, man, if you want to come over here, help us cast this or help us produce this. So that led to me being out one night with Seth, and the Cleveland show had been on for 2 seasons already. And I just asked him like, yo, what's up with the Cleveland show? I think I could be good for it. He's like, you know what? I think you're right. So I sent in my material. They read it. And the next thing I know, I was in the Cleveland show room. And I'd never been in a writer's room before. So that was my first time.
So how was the experience being in a writer's room? And was it how many, and then I guess, or how many black people was in that writer room as well?
Me, I was 3.
Okay. That's pretty, I mean, considering that time, that's fucking diverse.
No, that was a big deal. It was, Courtney and Clarence were the other 2. And it was great. It was a whole different world. It's like, it's its own room, literally. There's verbiage. There's a lot of stuff you got to learn about the room, when to pitch, when not to pitch, how to pitch, how not to pitch, So for me, it was great. But I look at everything in my life, even going back to Vianney, right?